Hello, my name is Michael Paskett, and this is my wildlife conservation video final. My source of information for this video is from the Cornell Labs, which I'm quoting their research, not mine, of these wonderful birds. According to Cornell Labs, seeing a bluebird is often associated with positive symbolism, including joy, hope, and good fortune. In some cultures, like Native American traditions, bluebirds are linked to spring and renewal. While they are no longer endangered, continued conservation efforts are still necessary to support their populations. Bluebirds are not exclusively found in the United States like some people may believe. They are a prominent part of the North American continent, which their range extends beyond the U.S. into Canada and Central America. When you're out and about in the Midwest to eastern United States, you may think to yourself, what am I even looking for? I mean, because if you have a bluebird that actually just it would even land in front of you or eating something in front of you, how would you even know what you're looking at? Let me help you with that. The eastern bluebird males are a brilliant royal blue on the back of the head and a warm red-brown in the breast, where the females are a little bit more lackluster, just like the majority of males the males in the world. When it comes to actual animals, they're more bright, they're more distinct, they're more attractive outside of humans, where the females are more kind of like a lackluster color. The females are kind of grayish above and bluish. They have a bluish wing and tail. They also have a subdued orange-brown breast. So why should we even care about these things? Well, bluebirds serve as a crucial role in the ecosystems of humans. In other words, they help protect our food supply. They actually eat, as part of their diet, a lot of invasive species that would normally decimate human food supplies. They're a medium-sized bird, and they're mostly insectivorous or omnivorous. Their diets, spring and summer breeding season, of course. Bluebirds primarily eat insects and berries throughout the year, with insects making up a larger portion of their diet during the breeding season. They also consume a variety of other foods like crickets, beetles, spiders, caterpillars, mealworms, earthworms, snails, even small lizards, tree frogs, shrews, and grasshoppers. So you can see the benefit to human beings as when it comes to protecting their food supply right there. In the fall and winter, their focus shifts more towards wild fruits and berries. Now, if you wanted to feed them yourselves, what they can be offered is like perhaps dry mealworms, sunflower chips, suet, and peanut butter, where you got to be kind of careful because foods high in sugar and oil can be unhealthy for them. Bluebirds lay an average of 4 to 6 eggs per clutch. They will usually brood 2 or 3 times a year. Bluebirds nest from March all the way through August. The eastern bluebirds show us what successful conservation looks like. In the early 20th century, eastern bluebird populations in the U.S. plummeted due to habitat loss, increased pesticide use, snag removal, and most notably, the introduction of the invasive and incredibly competitive species of the European starling and the house sparrow, which both are cavity nesters just like the bluebirds. So pretty much what they're doing, they're bigger birds for the most part, especially the starlings. They'll take over the houses of the birds, and the bluebirds let them know where to live. They're exposed to the elements, and they pretty much die. In the 1960s, campaigns organized by birders and citizen scientists were established to create bluebird trails lined with optimally designed bluebird boxes. To alleviate, what it did is it alleviated the nesting competition and allowed for close population monitoring. Okay, now with a current day-to-day breeding population of 23 million, eastern bluebirds are doing much better. And yes, bluebirds can recognize humans and they can tolerate their presence even around their nesting boxes. They even become accustomed to human activity in their vicinity, as evidenced by nesting boxes placed in backyards where there's a lot of busy activity. They get used to the noises, they get used to the habits of humans, and they tolerate them, especially more or less when the humans are feeding them. Pretty much, they will not abandon their nests if they are monitored properly. So in other words, how I was taught, because I got involved into this study myself, where if you set up a bluebird box, you don't want to have a set trail. So in other words, you don't want to kind of like walk to the bluebird box a certain way every single time and create a known path. You want to actually approach it from different ways, and you don't want to like stop. If you know the bluebird is there, you don't want to stop at the box. You just kind of want to walk past it, kind of look out of the corner of your eyes, and just keep going. You don't want to make them think you're a predator or you're actually after them. Building a bluebird boxes is a great thing. I personally put 2 of them up myself in my buddy's backyard. Since then, the bluebirds have moved in and have been using the boxes for 3 years. Pretty much how you set up a bluebird box, this is what I got from the Cornell site. And they actually kind of educated me as far as putting them in. You want to take your bluebird box, you have this mounting plate right over here. You attach it to the box after you figure out how you want to mount the box. Of course, the hole has to be up. And then what you want to do is find yourself a nice open field, or make yourself an opening where you can put your post. And what I ended up having to do, me and my buddy, is we actually got a couple ladders and a couple mini sledges, and we took the metal post and put it into the area where we wanted to put it into, and we ended up pounding this metal post into the ground and then mounting the box actually to the post. Okay, and that actually worked out really well, because like I said, they've been using the boxes for the last 3 years without fail, and I think it's actually helping the bluebird population. Maybe not noticeably because it's only 2 boxes, but it's a beginning on my part where we could actually help the conservation of these creatures. The Cornell Lab of Ornithology is a great resource to keeping track of the bluebird population, and one can easily report the findings to it. One can find their website at https://www.birds.cornell.edu/home/. And you can check out this research for yourself and possibly contact them and getting involved and actually maybe putting up bluebird boxes yourself. And they will actually send you instructions of what to do, what not to do, how to approach the boxes, when to approach the boxes. You don't want to scare the birds away. You want to make sure they're comfortable there. You're not touching the wrong things. But in that would include my 5-minute plus video for my class, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And thank you for putting up with my spiel.